Good morning, everybody, and think positive as always. So here I am with a question from Wally. Wally asks, how can we add a subcategory option to a feature? So the question is a specific feature or all the features? I did it for all the features, okay? But I won't go into details how it was done because it actually did take longer than an hour, which is I wanted to do it in a whole video, but now we're like it would be a video of 2 hours and a half. So there was a lot of mainly validations that you need to take care of. So let me just show you the results and then let me show you this little guide. So either as a developer or somebody that wants to do it by themselves, you know what happened during the process and you get an idea on how you can do it yourself too. So here's the end result. I'm using the examples that BD has for blogs, and if you select, I think it was food or health. Okay, so let me go to health. Okay, so we got health there, and now if you select, I know it's health subcategory 2, but let me put 3 so you can see. If I select the 3, it doesn't show. If I select the 2, it does show. Okay. You also notice that it remembers the category and also remembers the subcategory. Those are small details that you gotta take into consideration as a developer because the owner of the site might not notice them, but the user experience of the visitors will. So let's go into detail. So the question was how to create or add the feature of subcategories to the platform. So first things that we do is the initial setup. What's the initial setup? Okay, set the categories for the feature. Okay, so for that, we will go here on edit post settings, and then because we're doing the blog article, we go to that one and we add the categories here. Okay, so we added food, health, code, and so on and so forth. Just in case the words could have spaces in them. So it could be, I don't know, code space off space a developer, whatever, something like that. So you can have longer words, not just a single one. Once you've done that, let's go here, create the subcategory field in the database. So on the two databases that are related to this, the data posts, which is for posts that only support one image, they're called single posts, um, which is articles, blogs, events, coupons, all those. When you start creating them, they only give you the option of uploading one image. Okay. And then you got the multi-posts or basically posts that allow you to upload multiple images. Those actually use the user's portfolio groups table. On both of those, I actually created a post subcategory field there. Okay. I mean, for now, I did a 255 varchar type, and that's it. Although, if you know that the naming of your subcategories is going to be longer, um, and they can also select multiple ones, then I would advise making this a text field instead of varchar field, so that it's super long. Okay. Once you've done that in the database, set the class or ID if needed for the post category field. So you do that on the actual form, okay, here, toolbox form for that feature, or you do it for the custom widget that that's being used for the categories. And with that I mean this. If you go here, let's edit this one. So obviously this is not there in your case, at least not yet. But if you right click this, you are able to see, there it is, the post category. It has a name here. You can use a name instead of a class or ID, or you can assign an ID to it or a class to it, and that way you can use it for later for developing this whole thing quicker. So once you've done your initial setup, what happened here is one, you already have the categories that need to be used on the feature. You already had where they're going to be saving the subcategory information when when it gets selected, and you already have how to select this one, and every time this one changes, you change this one. So this third part here actually does several things, but one of them is this. If I change this, it changes this too. Okay, if I change it here, it changes this too. And it does it in a way that's much faster than the regular uh, way that you're used to. So you can see that the change is super quick. Okay, I could say super fast. Okay, you have the initial setup done. Now let's start coding. So there are multiple ways that you could do this. The way that I did it, and you can see here, let me go to Toolbox Widget Manager, and I did it this way because I want to leave control and flexibility for the owner of the site. They should not be requiring you as a developer later on to add more subcategories to more features. Okay, they should be able to do it themselves in a very easy way, and this should be able to scale. Okay, so if it's applicable to one, because of the structure of how BD did the features, it should be applicable to the rest of them. That's my logic, and you save time as a developer, and you give more freedom to the owner of the site. So I did it like this. There's a subcategory config. I think I have it here somewhere. Here it is. So here's where I said which, or the owner of the site said which features are going to have the opportunity to have subcategories. Okay. This, from my point of view, this is the URL of the of that feature, and this part is what matches to the subcategory down here. So I could have said something like blog uh, subcategory, okay, and then here it would have to say subcategory, so that once they are in the blog section, either creating a blog or searching for one, it would know, oh, okay, they're in the blog. Let me look for this in here. So it will look for this and will grab those categories that they created. Remember, this were created on the edit post settings here, and it would fetch the subcategories for those. Okay, I did it like this. Obviously, it would be much better if you did it with a plugin, so the user can just click, click, click. But because of speed and time reasons, I did it like this. Same thing. I mean, most people can just follow this. If they add an additional um, an additional category here, edit post on it, they would just copy this and paste it here and just add the subs for that one. Here's the property ones for example. Okay, so that's the config one. Okay, and they can configure their thing there. Um, that's this one, and this one is the one that does basically everything. It reads that one. It does the searching here, the matching, and everything there. Um, that's a little bit longer. That's why it took like 2 hours. But the end result is that you are able to save this. So I am able to like go here and save this. And once the page refreshes, you'll see that you'll know, oh, okay, no, this person selected health and then health sub 2 category. Um, so you got that done there, and you can also do the search here. The search part, let me show you here. This is the filtering options. This one's here, okay? And the search engine is this one. That's the one you will be editing there. So let me go back here. So we create a widget for the configuration of features and subcategory selection. That's this baby here. Okay. That basically takes care of the mapping of the actual category of the feature with the subcategory, and also the matching of it with the arrays that you saw there. Then you created the visual one. So the visual one actually does several things, because I did not want to create, this is a visual one. I did not want to create one for the search page, another one for when they're editing this, and another one for something else. I don't know if they were gonna use it on the like on the homepage on the search. You are able to create one, and you can put rules that hey, if I'm in the homepage, behave like this. If I'm inside the dashboard, behave like this. If I'm in the search results page for that feature, behave like this. Okay, so create a widget for visual and functional aspect of the subcategories, the behavior, how it looks. Add visual widget to features form and class ID. Yep, you gotta add it there. So what I meant with that is here again on the form. Look, it's called subcategory. Okay, so you go to the actual blog here, to the actual form for that specific feature, and just add it there. This is all that it did. Custom HTML, a widget subcategory, and now we got our puppy there. See it? See it here? Obviously, it's not gonna work here. It only works in the real place here. Okay. We tested that, so it's saving properly. And then once we know, and that's why these two are separated, we need to make sure that the user is able to select it. The subcategories change depending on what category they selected above. So meaning, again, if I change this, it changes this. Okay. And when I save it, it actually remembers that I saved it. Okay. Save it again there. So you can actually see it. There you go. Okay. We got that there. And now that we know that because of the initial setup that we did in the database too, and the saving process here, it's saving properly, then we can start editing the search engine for it, the filtering options for it, and then testing if it matches properly. Okay. You will have an issue because you need to customize a lot of things if the feature actually supports multiple selection here. So you got to be careful with that one. You need to add additional coding. In this particular case, it's a single um, selection that I can only select one. But there's some features that you can select multiple ones. Okay, so for multiple ones, you do need to take that into consideration because it should be able to match everything that they selected here. I'm going to change this to code. So it matches there. See, if I select code sub 1, nothing happens. But if I select 3, voila, it should show. There you go. Okay, so after we added the search engine, after we added the filtering options, which is this one, for the actual search to happen, we tested it and it's matching. Awesome. So now we have a system that stores the information properly in the database and it matches correctly with the form. 2, it saves properly. It knows when you change the category, so it shows you the corresponding subcategories for it. And it remembers them, okay? Meaning it's saving properly. And it's fetching that properly from the database too. 3, you are able to search for it, and the search engine understands what you're trying to search, and it gives you the corresponding search results for it. Okay, so that's awesome. And the filtering options, additionally, they remember what you search for because sometimes happens that you do the search and this whole thing just resets itself, which it bothers me. There was one little hack that I did here, which is this lines here because that's what I put here somewhere. This because if I remove this, it shows you the default, at least the default on my side here, and it looks weird. The subcategory looks nice, but the this the default one just looks weird. See, it's like an empty something there. Okay, and that's the only hack that I did. I put that border there, like that workaround, that cheat that I did there, so it looked a little better for the video. But that's basically it. Um, there are some additional bonus points as a developer if you're able to create it as a single widget like there, or a plugin that can be used by the owner of the site to add different subcategories to the features. The idea here is for them, the owner of the site, to select the category of a feature, add a subcategory, and that saves into a widget or into a database. It will be much better into a widget. Why? Because then you can load the widget through the form and whoop, you can offer the experience to the owner of the site that the the whole process is super fast. If you do it with a database, then you know that you have to run a query for it instead of just fetching the widget. So that's some tips there for this part. Make sure the visual widget used uh, for this understands in what page it is being used. This way, you only use one widget instead of different widgets per page used. So the typical approach is when you have a widget here, that's a widget for this, and when you have another widget here, that's a widget for this. I didn't do it like that. I did it. It's a single widget that knows that you are searching or you are creating a blog post. It's one widget. Let me see where it is. This one, the subcategory. That's it. It knows where you are. It knows where you are. If you're searching for the feature or you're adding a post for that feature. Two, it can scale, meaning thanks to this, it can offer the same thing for all the features. It's not limited to blog. It's limited to if it's a feature, and that's it. So you can even create your own custom features, and it can keep on scaling. Okay. So that's what this means. That part there. Make sure the visual widget remembers what was selected in the search page. So yeah, that, like I was saying, sometimes when you refresh this page, it doesn't know it doesn't remember what you selected. Okay, it just resets itself. So here it remembers, see, and there we go. So that's basically how you can create subcategories as a developer. This is mainly for developers or people that would want to do it on their own, but they don't know where to start. So this is like the blueprint, how you would start building that whole thing. Okay, the initial setup, the initial code setup, and save status. You gotta make sure that it's saved so you can search for it later. Then the search setup, and you're done. You got your baby there. Um, and that's it. So even though I didn't code it live this time because it was really long, at least you have an idea that one, if this is possible on BD, two, how would you start building this subcategory feature, uh, and well, three, you know that it takes less than a day to actually do it, and that's it. So at least you have an idea there. Think positive. Big hugs to everybody, and hope it gives you guidance in how you can do it yourself too.